Hey everyone, welcome to another segment of Nerd Herders. My name is Rich.
I'm Nick.
He's Nick, this guy.
You.
Yo. Today we're talking about what we've been up to. So Nick, what have you been up to?
Well, I would start off by saying we're recording this as you're watching it, but the day that we're recording it is the day after the release of a big Xbox game.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the bigger ones of the year. Biggest exclusive.
Probably their big fall game, I would
The
say.
big exclusive, for sure. Gears of War 4.
Yeah.
So I would love to sit here and
How
tell
is
you.
that Gears of War 4?
I would love to sit here and tell you that I've put in, 4 or 5 hours already. Have a great feel for it. But Amazon dropped the ball and only just delivered it today, as opposed to the day that it was due, even though it was pre-ordered back in April.
Yeah.
For more on that, maybe listen to this week's podcast.
SoundCloud.com/overbeer iTunes.
So I haven't been up to that yet. We'll talk about it
But
next
don't feel
week.
too bad because I had the same thing with Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider came out yesterday. It arrived yesterday. I got home super late, so I haven't had time to play it. So we're not.
But it arrived
That's
yesterday.
true. I'm just saying we can't talk about the newest release.
Right. So next week,
Stay tuned and we'll both be talking about
we'll probably be talking about those. So I don't have those to talk about. I don't have much to talk about, but what I will talk about.
This is an exciting
One
segment.
thing,
I'm glad, I hope you guys all chose to start here.
I'll update one more time on Luke Cage. I'm on episode 11 of 13.
Good
Show. Strong. The way that the back half of the season so far has been structured was very smart in a way that it paced things out in a logical way that has kind of kept some of that feeling that I had in Daredevil season 1 and 2, as well as Jessica Jones, where I kind of felt like this was really good. It would have been even better in 10.
So that was going to be my big question, to see if
Now,
it seemed a little too bloated.
I want to see how it finishes because in my mind, it sort of feels like there's 3 episodes left, and maybe it could just be done in one. But we'll see what they do.
So you've watched episode 11, or you still
No,
have
I'm on episode 11.
Okay.
I've watched 10 episodes.
Okay.
And then there's 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's really good. But the other thing that I want to talk about is Dana and I have put in quite a bit of time into Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Oh.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's good. We had been playing a lot of Lego Dimensions. Actually, we for all intents and purposes beat that game. There's the story packs and maybe eventually getting the platinum, but we beat that. The hurricane came through. It didn't knock out our power, so that's all we had to do all weekend.
Nice.
But then we started Lego, and we're nearly done with the game. It follows mostly the Force Awakens plot, and we just took care of Phasma on Starkiller Base.
Okay.
So,
Have you done
the
any of
movie's almost done.
Have you done any of the side missions or the side stories? Or
Not
anything?
yet, no.
Okay.
We're
I still
gonna go
haven't
back
done
and
any
do
of
that
those.
stuff.
I did one of them. I can't remember which one I did yet.
But it's really good. It adds, you talked about it when the game came out, but just to further reiterate, it adds some stuff to Lego games that had not been there before, like cover-based shooting.
Yeah.
Which is actually very fun. It made me excited for Gears.
Yeah,
It's very
it feels
Gears of War.
very like like my first Gears, like in a good way. Like here's like a simplified version of Gears.
Yeah, definitely. I think that it's not a perfect system. Sometimes it's hard to if you it'll key into someone, but if you want to go shoot something else, sometimes you have to shoot something else. It's a little hard to aim, a little wonky.
There was one because my girlfriend and I have been playing through it, and we're chipping away at that. Well, I am because there's like a trophy issue where sometimes the second player stuff doesn't ping. I don't know if you've seen that or not in any of your things.
Not sure.
But we were at one spot where she was fighting, and somehow I got stuck on a cover, like a cover-based spot for just an extra mini kit or something. And she's like, "I need you to come down and do this," and I couldn't. And I'm like, "I don't know what's going on." And finally, I just clicked a button, and it zoomed in, and I was like, "Oh, I'm stuck on a cover. I need to blow this stuff. I need to shoot 4 things before I can leave," and it wouldn't let me leave out of it, which was kind of odd.
Strange. But yeah, it's fun. The space, flight missions and the X-Wings and stuff. They're okay.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're not great.
They're not as good as I was hoping.
No, they're just okay.
I'd heard
but
like,
they're
oh,
okay.
this is like what Star Fox should have been. And it's not quite that.
Well, I mean, it gave me definite flashbacks to Star Fox 64. You know, hitting whatever X twice to flip over.
Sure,
the
there's
enemies
a.
behind
I
you.
wish
There's
there was a
there's
little
Star
bit more
Fox
control
elements.
you had.
It could have been better. One thing that you talked about last week with the new Dimension story packs, we played the Adventure Time one. Did have an issue occur twice.
You Snapchat me. That's exactly where we got stuck too.
Where the game froze. We had to restart all of our progress to that point.
Oh, really? See, mine started at me at the checkpoint right before it. That sucks.
Yeah. And then we also had a similar issue in Lego Star Wars. We were nearly done with one of the chapters, and it like froze, and we had to do the whole chapter again.
See, I don't think I've had any Star Wars issues yet.
Yeah.
You taking my beer?
Didn't see that one there. I just like it so much. I want to.
I mean, if you want the beer with less in it, I'll take the fuller beer. That's fine.
So,
yeah.
But it was fun.
That's been my, I love Lego games, but I wish they would just fix all of them seem to be a little buggy.
Yeah.
Ever since the first one I played, like, that's why I never got far into Lego Batman, is because it glitched out on me, and I was like, I don't have time to do
the only other glitch, prior in Dimensions that we had experienced prior to the year 2 stuff was every once in a while we would turn it on and the sound would be out of sync with what we were doing.
Oh, really?
It's happened maybe 3 times, and I'd have to restart the system. Close the game.
Yeah.
And then restart it.
The only glitch I've ever had
it's too annoying.
Prior to year 2 was like sometimes a character would get stuck, but it would be easy because you could just take them off the pad and that would be it. But whereas in a normal Lego game, you can't do that. Like, there's been once or twice where I've been stuck in something and I'm like, I can't just take him off to...
Yeah. But she's really into the Lego games now. It's the only games that she'll play. And so we'll definitely get the Harry Potter collection just came out.
Yeah.
Or is about to come out?
It's coming. It should be out, I think, by the time this
I think it comes out next Tuesday. So we'll probably get that too, I'm sure, eventually. But
yeah.
What have you been up to?
I've been up to a few things. Got a few movie and 2 games to talk about.
Yeah, I want to hear about that movie. I know what you saw.
So you want to hear the movie first?
Yeah.
So I saw Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Weirdos.
Yeah. For the weird outcast kids.
Miss Peregrine's Home for Tim Burton cliches.
Yeah. It's good. It's one of the best things he's done in a while. I was trying to look back and see what like the last couple things. I never did see Big Eyes.
Me either.
Did not care for Dark Shadows.
No.
Did not care for Alice in Wonderland. I liked Frankenweenie. I don't
Frankenweenie's fine.
remember much of Frankenweenie.
Yeah.
I would like to revisit that again. So I would say it's at least as good as Frankenweenie was. Like, it's a solid movie. There's pacing issues I have with it, especially towards the end, which I saw it with my girlfriend and her family, and they had all like read the books. There's 3 of them, and so I guess for the movie they put all 3 books in this movie.
Really?
Essentially.
I thought it was trying to jumpstart a franchise.
No, like she's like, yeah, I mean, where it ends is the end of like the 3rd book, essentially.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can definitely... There's some pacing issues right there towards the end that are like, this could have easily been expanded for another movie at least. But otherwise it's good. It's fun.
Now, did she, as someone who's read all the books, enjoy the movie?
Yeah, she liked it. But yeah, she was kind of the same with like this. That was where I didn't realize they were gonna. I think about a little more than halfway through, I think, is when they just kick into the 2nd book of everything. But
interesting, curious choice in Hollywood that loves sequels.
Yeah, maybe because it's a Tim Burton thing.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's promising.
No, it's definitely worth your time. I enjoyed it. It's one of the better things he's done in a long time.
Good.
Cast is good.
Eva Green, because I was gonna say, even though I did not like Dark Shadows, she was really fun in Dark Shadows.
Yeah, she's great in this. Ender's Game is good in this. All the kids, like, there's, you always have that risk of, like, with child actors and stuff,
Right.
where one of them will ruin it. They're all solid to great. I'm trying to say, I don't want to spoil too much because you haven't seen it. But yeah, I'll be curious to hear your thoughts once you've seen it. But it's definitely worth checking out.
Good.
Despite having some third act problems.
Okay. Cool.
And then I've played 2 games.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, which one do you want to hear first? Do you want to hear the good or the decent?
Let's go decent and end on a good note.
Okay. Decent, I've been playing Mafia 3.
Oh, okay.
The story and the acting and the soundtrack is all incredible. The gameplay is fine. I'm not super far. I've probably put like 6 hours maybe into this. I don't want to give away too many story details in case anyone out there want to jump in or want to go in blind, because I feel like a lot of, like, the basis of the story is been shown in trailers and stuff. If you've
I feel like I know a lot about it now. Probably more than I would have wanted.
Sure. But I worry it's the story set up in, like, this documentary style, and it's, if you don't know, it takes place in the 60s, post-Vietnam, in New Bordeaux, which is their New Orleans. And you play as an African-American or half African-American protagonist. So I really like the way they handle all of the racism so far and dealing with that. Like, if you start off in a primarily black neighborhood, and, like, if you commit a crime and somebody calls the cops, you can hear, like, their scanners, and it's like, hey guys, there's a crime over in the Hollow. If anyone feels like going out there, go ahead and go out there. And, like, there's definitely more aggressive towards you. And supposedly once you get into the more, like, white neighborhoods and stuff, they're even more aggressive and more responsive to things. But my problem comes with the missions so far. Like, it's been enjoyable so far, but I don't know how long they'll be enjoyable for, because they seem very samey. Everything. It's like, okay, you gotta, hit this prostitution ring or hit this drug thing or hit this, but they all are kind of like, go in and kind of clear everybody out. Go in and it's just kind of the same thing. And while they're all in cool settings, like the one I just did was in this really cool, like, abandoned amusement park. But it was like, okay, like, but you're still kind of doing the same. Okay, if you want to go in stealth, all right, you can whistle to, like, lure somebody over. And so if you just keep sort of slowly going through, you can just knock everybody out pretty methodically. But after 40 hours of it, I don't know how much fun I'll still be having with it. But the story in it is really good, and that's what's been keeping me going in it. Right.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I would like to play it eventually.
Sure.
Probably.
It's like I did it through Best Buy, so I had got my 20% off, and then if you pre-ordered it, you got an extra, like, $10 certificate. So I was okay kind of going in a little more blind because there were no reviews prior to launch. But it's cool. I mean, if you want to rent it or down the road when it's $20 or something, go for it. Just for the story and the acting alone. And the soundtrack, it's all, 60s stuff, and it's great. But the last thing that I did, I finally finished Uncharted 4.
Oh, shit, that's right. Yeah, damn. Good.
Do you want to do a spoiler?
Yeah, let's just do a little bit of spoilers.
Okay, so spoilers going forward for Uncharted 4 if you haven't played that yet.
You can go back to... When did that come out?
March or May. May.
Go back then, you can hear my thoughts.
Yeah, Nick talks about it spoiler-free, so we're going to talk about spoilers. I really like it. Or liked it. The thing... I have this weird love, I don't want to say hate, but, like... There's the issues I have with the Uncharted games are the sections that aren't super story focused.
So, like, what, the mansion? Well, that
I
is
like
very
the man, but it's
focused.
like okay, well, you got to get from point A to point B. We're not super into the story, but you're just gonna kind of, like, climb this ledge,
Okay.
climb platform. Like, it's just this very samey kind of platforming where I'm like, gotta climb another wall, gotta swing here, climb this, climb that. Like, it just kind of gets a little monotonous for me. But like when you hit those big story beats in the game, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm like really having fun with it. Because there was a couple of those where I was like going through caves, or like going on the island where you're following the arrows, and I'm just like, oh, okay, like let's move this along. But when you're in the clock tower, or when
The
you're
clock tower is amazing.
or on in Madagascar, in the jeep going down the hill and all that stuff, like that's all fantastic. Yeah. And once you get into Libertalia, it's all really cool.
Yeah, everything in Libertalia was great. I thought the clock tower was like awesome, just really cool, like set piece. I love so much about the opening third of the game, like him, just longing for a life that he has told that he has given up, and it just so awesome and perfectly handled, and something that you wouldn't really normally find in a game, but what did you think of the end?
I love the end.
The end is,
I think the end's great.
Perfect. Yeah. There was a lot of like, is he gonna die?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be this? Is it secretly been leading into the world of The Last of Us? All these things.
I've gone back, after finishing it, and kind of looked at a couple like spoiler casts that I wanted to see at the time, and one of them was like, like I was waiting for when his daughter walks out of the house to suddenly be The Last of Us and everything be.
It would have been interesting, but the way that
I don't know if I would have actually
classy and very awesome. So the way that the game ends, if you're still watching, you didn't care. Fast forwards, what, like 12 years?
Probably. I didn't notice a date on it.
You're playing a girl, and she's in her house all alone, and then you go out, and it turns out she's their daughter.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of guess that right off the bat.
Yeah, you know she's the daughter, but you're unsure if like where everyone is.
Yeah,
why is it empty?
like, oh, where's Mom?
And that's when I'd kind of jokingly, on some of the shows that we both mutually listened to, they had kind of jokingly said leading up to the game, like, what if it all leads to and then I was like, oh my god, is it actually leading to Last of Us? Like, what? And because it's all barren, and that's not it. It's there's no action.
Yeah, I mean,
yet it's so like I was so into it. I was so like, it's perfect.
Because it's the great thing that Naughty Dog does, and that they do so well, is like the environmental storytelling, and what they've gotten so good at is just walking through the house is seeing all the little trinkets, and okay, this is where they've gone, and if you explore the house, you can go and you can see
these are adventures that we didn't
the old adventure,
in between
or where's Sully and Sam at this point. You see the old photo albums. It's like, oh, there's me as a baby with Sully, and oh, there's Uncle
the photo
Sam.
Albums were great, and like you see like her being taken on some adventures at a younger age, finding treasure, and so they have said that the Nathan Drake storyline is done, but does she grow up to become an adventurer?
I think was probably the idea. Like it's closed the story on the Uncharted games as we know it, but leaves it open for. They do Last of Us. They do maybe a new IP, and then they're like, okay, well, we're ready to come back, but this time it's going to be. I keep wanting to call her Ellie, and she's not Ellie. That's Last of Us. I can't remember what her name is.
I don't remember either.
It's something with an E, though, I think.
I don't remember.
But it leaves room for, okay, you've gone 12 years without an Uncharted game. Now here's the new Uncharted starring Nathan Drake. Maybe you even bring Nathan Drake in as like a Sully character or something.
I would assume Sully will be dead. It'll be sad.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best case scenario for this game not to happen for about a decade.
Yeah.
Not because I don't want to play it right now, but I think that the problem that you run into, especially with the Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raiders being so awesome, is she would then just be another female.
Yeah.
Because the thing has always kind of been, and now the Tomb Raider, it was Tomb Raider-esque. Uncharted.
It was Uncharted learned from Tomb Raider, and then the Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider learned from Uncharted, and then kind of back. And then
I feel like it would be too similar.
Yeah.
now.
So you would need to
You wait, let them do another whatever's after Rise of the Tomb Raider. Let that be maybe the conclusion of a trilogy that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Give it some time. The movie's going to come out. Tomb Raider will be popular, hopefully.
And then you're like, okay, now we've had time away from both franchises. Then Naughty Dog can come out and say, hey, we're going to Uncharted 5 or Uncharted whatever they decide to call it. It may not even be Uncharted 5. It may just be Uncharted with a heading or something.
I mean, if they legitimately waited a decade, I don't even know if you need to put Uncharted in the title.
That's true.
Like, it wouldn't, like, gamers who would be playing in 10 years will have not played Uncharted.
Yeah.
So
there'll be another collection.
There'll be us,
for the PlayStation 6, there'll be another Nathan
course,
Drake collection or something.
It won't necessarily mean the same amount.
Sure.
But I'm sure it would still have it, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I'm happy you liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
I think my only issue is some of the gameplay gets a little stale for me in the Uncharted games. Just some of those more monotonous, like, platforming moments that are just like climb. Oh, okay, here's this little thing. But once you get into the heart of stuff, it really, because this, you know, the storytelling I think is probably the best out of all. I don't know if this is my favorite Uncharted game, but I think the storytelling is done the best in this game. I feel like you get it more consistently, like, throughout it, and more cutscenes.
Yeah,
and
no,
more,
for sure.
You know, even if you're just driving, like when you're driving with Elena, like they're still having a conversation that pertains to the story and their relationship and what's going on.
Yeah. It was a great experience. I don't know if it's my favorite game of the year, but it is high up there. Absolutely, very high up there. So that's Uncharted 4. What did you think of that? What did you think of Miss Peregrine? The stuff I talked about, whatever that was. And
Talking
then
about Lego.
Yeah, no, I know what I talked about.
All right, well, I didn't know. It took me a second.
It was a while ago.
What you talked about.
And then what was the other game that you said you
Mafia
played?
3.
Mafia 3. What do you think of that? Let us know. You can tweet at me. I'm at Stonks.
I'm at Rich Belson. Channels on Twitter at OAB_official. If you want to hear our thoughts on Gears of War 4 or Tomb Raider, check back next week or follow us on Twitter. We might be tweeting about some of those. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/overabeer. Run Instagram at over_a_beer. We'll probably do a photo of this whole Stormtrooper Boba Fett setup, maybe with our little hop gun beer that we're drinking here. You can also check out the Overbeer podcast on soundcloud.com/overbeer, iTunes, and other podcast services. Hopefully Google soon. I'm working on that.
Is that what it's called? Google soon?
Yeah, it's called Google soon. Can't listen to it quite yet, but you can listen to it soon. But I think that'll wrap things up for today. So until next time, drink up.